Man, this is crazy. Honestly, I would never have known anything about this if I would have used my head. I probably would have known. But I really got finessed. I really got scammed. What's going on, y'all? You already know who it is, Natepushweights. And we got a story time today, man. This actually recently just happened to me. I didn't figure this out until yesterday. But basically, let's get right into this reaction. Honestly, we're not going to waste no time. All I got to say is, man, I got finessed, I got scammed, and it wasn't good. It pretty much was not good at all. Honestly, it probably is one of the most dumbest stuff that I could ever do to let happen to myself. If I had the opportunity to know in my mind that I was basically getting finessed, I probably wouldn't have did the steps to make myself get scammed in that predicament, is what I'm saying. So let's talk about this. It's pretty crazy. Let's get right into this, dude. Comment below if you ever had a time where you were scammed or finessed in any way. Now, it all started when I got that one email from someone. I don't know who it was, but basically I got an email on my school account. Now, for y'all that don't know me, I went to college. I graduated college this past May. And basically, you know, I've been filling a lot of job applications out, you know, for my major. Of course, you know, obviously you go to college, to go to school and basically, you know, fulfill a job that you want to do for the rest of your life. So basically, I've been filling out a lot of like stuff online for my major, seeing if I can get a job, see if I can get some more emails back from companies basically telling me, you know, hey, we'll offer you a job. So basically, I got this one email, and this was last week. This was last Thursday. And everything seemed to be, you know, completely legitimate. Actually, I did not even believe in my mind about anything being legitimate. I just basically, you know, took it as, oh my God, a company just hit me up. They want me to, you know, talk to them for an interview and, you know, basically get hired for a job. And I was so excited in my mind. Like, I was super excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get a job. Wow, this is great. I haven't had any other companies email me back, you know, offering me a position, this and that. So basically, you know, I got into an interview, and basically the email said, we'll conduct an interview with you, but only through this application called Hangout via app. Okay, so this application is called Hangout. So basically, it's like an application that you can use on iOS or Android, and basically they want to interview me through that app. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. I never heard of the app. I never knew anything about it. So I was like, okay, you know, okay, I'll download the app and you know, talk to whoever I got to talk to for this interview. And I did, and it was all through message. And you know, basically, you know, they hit me up. They said, hi, how's it going? Blah blah blah. You know, I said, I'm here for my interview. I need to speak to such and such. They said, okay, you know, do you have any knowledge in, you know, graphic design, this and that? And I said, yeah, that's my major. I just graduated college for it. I'm looking to, you know, pursue my careers and, you know, possibly get my first job and possibly starting my first job as a designer and, you know, etc. And basically they told me that, you know, we're going to go through an interview process, and all you need to do basically is answer a few questions and, you know, basically tell us more about yourself in design and what you can do and this and that. So yeah, I did that. I said, you know, I'm a graphic designer, you know, I know video production, very good editor, you know, this and that. I do this, I do this. I didn't say anything about YouTube. I didn't, you know, say anything about anything of that nature. I wanted to keep it strictly basically about, you know, education and what I learned through school. So I basically told them everything like that, and basically this company that hit me up, this so-called company, basically said that, you know, we work with a company called, I'm just gonna make up a fake name, Limo Designs. And basically they said, you know, they gave the description of everything, of the job and this and that and what they do. And I, you know, I looked it up, you know, make sure everything was okay and make sure everything was legitimate. And everything was legitimate. Everything had the right, everything was basically right. I looked up the company, where it was from, this and that. Whoever, I was messaging on about the interview, they told me where the company was, everything lined up. The only thing is, okay, I did not know about certain things. When you can message people and they can put all that information there to make it look real and make it look like they're working for that company, but in all sense they're not really working for that company. Meaning, you just got to be careful of, and you gotta watch out for certain things that you can notice that could be, predicted as a scam. So basically, yeah, I basically went on to the next process, and the person I was messaging for this interview basically told me, we're gonna go through a process with the hiring managers, and basically by day we're going to approve you if you are maybe even hired into our company. So basically, I went through the next process. She told me that I basically had next morning to respond back to her, to follow up of what's going on. And basically, I had to wake up every morning at 8 a.m. to follow up. So in that mind, I knew that, it was legitimate. I knew that this person was serious. I knew that this wasn't a game. This was real. Now, mind you, throughout this whole process, I did look up this person's name because it was a girl and it had a picture and everything. Everything looked legit. I'm just going to say her name's Rebecca Clark or something like that. I looked up Rebecca Clark on Google, and, I didn't find anything. I didn't see like a name for that company. I didn't see her name under it. She was supposedly the director of affairs or something like that. And basically, I looked her up and I couldn't find anything on her name for that company. So I was a bit worried. I was a bit, like, okay, this doesn't really look right, but everything seems legit. Everything seems to line up. Everything seems real, So basically, we got on to the next process, and basically, the person of the company that I was interviewed by told me that, you can do all that. You have to do all this stuff with a computer. She said basically you have to do all this stuff at home. It's a remote job, and basically, you can do all this stuff at home. So I was excited about that. I didn't have to really travel or anything. Everything is just literally right here, just like YouTube, everything's right here for me to take fully advantage of. I told her that, yeah, I have a computer, Windows 10. I have all the Adobe files, so I can, do editing, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, anything that is necessary for the job description of design, I can do that basically. And I told her that, and it's kind of like didn't blow me off in a sense that basically they were offering me a home setup to do this job work for the description. For their job, they wanted to basically buy me a computer. They wanted to buy me a monitor. They wanted to buy me a desk. They wanted to buy me a printer. They wanted to buy me all these things just so I can work for them, which I was highly it put a big smile on my face. I was so excited. I could not wait to actually freaking work for this job. I was like, oh my God, you guys are gonna pay for my supplies? That's awesome. Basically, they wanted me to use a MacBook for everything. If you guys don't know, the newest MacBook is like $1,500. So I was very excited. All these other things that they wanted to buy me for the job description was very expensive too. So I was looking around maybe like a $5,000 check. $5,000 just to bring in stuff in for me to work with. It was amazing. I was like, oh my God, okay. So basically they said, hey, we'll send you a check in the mail. Just give us your address. And basically, yeah, we'll send you a check in the mail. And also we have to go through one more process. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that. I sent them my, mail address without a doubt, without a question, without me even thinking that, something could be wrong here. I just put my home address down. Boom, enter. Then basically the person that I was messaging with, they said, okay, you have to sign this agreement so that, you know, we can have everything in and you can, you know, be officially qualified for the position and hired to our company. So basically, they sent me an email, basically, and the email checked out. The email was a legit email from their company, HR, meaning their headquarters, their HR department. So basically, they sent me an email saying, hi, my name, you know, we would like to hire you for this position. Everything checked out. Everything was legit. And I want to put this on the screen, but then again, I don't want to show you guys too much information because I don't want anything to happen to me in general. I don't know what type of people I'm dealing with. So I filled it out, and basically they wanted me to put my signature down and also send them a picture ID of myself to basically prove that it's me. Okay, so, and that's what I did. You know, I signed it and I sent them a picture of my driver's license. Now, I want to say this, guys. Don't ever send a picture of your driver's license, your photo ID, or any type of identification of yourself to someone that you do not know and someone that appears to be not legitimate. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, I made a big mistake from doing that. I actually have to go change my driver's license. I have to report it as stolen, basically, because they have all of my driver's license information, and they can basically find me at my identification by basically looking me up. So don't do that. Okay, I made a big mistake there. I sent them everything. Everything appeared to be approved. You know, I was getting quick response by, you know, these people. And basically, they said, okay, we are going to send you a check in the mail so you can, you know, buy these supplies and basically be able to work for our company. And we're going to monitor your spending, this and that, so we can make sure you're getting everything right and, you know, have everything right for your home station, basically, so you can work for us. So a couple days went by. I said, okay, a couple days went by, you know. It took a long time for me to get the check. It was very weird. Now, this company is based not really too far from me, honestly. It's probably like a good 3.5 hours from me. So I was expecting, you know, this check to come very quickly. And when this check came, and I'm gonna actually show you guys. This is the check right here. You know, I ripped it open, everything. You know, look through it. It has a, I'm gonna block my address so you guys can't see that. But as you can see right here, it has a stamp. It has a stamp right there. So it's a real mail, right? It has my address on it. Has everything. Mind you, I'm so excited to see this in the mail, right? You know, beforehand they told me, you know, basically you're gonna go deposit this into your bank account, and basically when you deposit this into your bank account, basically message us telling us that, you know, you deposited it and it went through and this and that, so we can clarify everything. And I said, okay, you know, me not knowing anything about life, really about, you know, bank accounts and stuff like that and fraud, I did not realize what I was going through. So basically I went right through it and basically took it to the bank. Now, here is the check. Now, I'm not going to let you guys see it, but here is the check. This is the check. Now, this check right here, this is a lot of money right here. This is probably one of the most biggest checks I could have potentially put into my bank account. And I was just like, I was so excited. Ready? This check was $8,890. $8,890 check right here. Basically, it has the company's name, Bank of America. It has, you know, where it was from. It has a lot of information, okay? Now, it is a legitimate check. This check right here is legitimate. It's real. But what I noticed, and I did not notice until after I, you know, tried to deposit this, because me being such a bonehead and me being so young in life, not really realizing what people are really trying to do, I didn't realize there was a typo in this check. Now, there is a complete typo in this check. I'm just going to read it off a little bit. Now, this check came from Massachusetts, which I was kind of like, okay, why? Why does this come from Massachusetts? Okay, so 14, I'm not going to give the address. Massachusetts Avenue. Okay, in Massachusetts, it's spelled wrong. It says Massachusetts B Avenue. And I'm like, wow. Okay, so basically, long story short, I took this check to the bank, my bank account. Once I took this check to my bank account, basically, I had to fill out a deposit slip and everything. I gave it to the teller. Now, I want to tell you this beforehand. The company that I was messaging with through the interview, they asked me what bank account, I have and this and that. And everything checked out. Honestly, everything looked legitimate. Everything was basically legitimate in my head. Like, there was no errors of spelling or anything like that. I thought this person was completely real. Now, in my head, I was like, why are you asking me for my bank account? Like, not my information, so to say, but why do you want to know what bank account I'm using? So that alarmed me a little bit, but I still thought this was legitimate. I swore in my head I thought this was legitimate. So basically, I gave the teller, the check, went through the process, and basically, the teller told me, she asked me, what check is this? Where is this coming from? Who gave you this check? And in my head, I was like, wow, did I really just get scammed? Did I really potentially almost get scammed? Did I really almost put a fake check in my bank account? So when then it gets rerouted saying that it bounced, or it's not real money, my bank account information goes to that company that isn't the real company, and then basically they get all of my bank account information because it reroutes, and they could potentially steal my identity and also steal my whole money in my bank. Every last dime in my bank account they could have stole. If my bank would have deposited this check, my life would have probably been over, honestly. So the teller basically said, where did you get this check? And I told her, I got offered a job position for a company, and they basically sent me a check, and it's for my equipment. And she said, first of all, and I cannot believe I was so stupid to not realize this, but first of all, the check is not even signed, which is very, very alarming right there. And I was so excited to see so much money in a check that I did not realize that the check was not even signed. She said the check was not even signed. The check's not even signed. And basically, there is a authentication security feature implemented into the check where it does not allow you to actually redeem the deposit until a certain date. So that really alarmed me right there. Okay, that really alarmed me. It really spooked me. I was very, very like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? And then I was like, okay. And then she said, can you call the company in some way? And this really messed me up because I was like, no, I cannot. I cannot call the company because everything's online. I'm messaging this so-called company, this person, through a application on a phone. I'm very spooked out because at this moment I know this is completely fake. Now, the bank teller didn't tell me about any of the typos on the check. But I then asked for the check back, and I said, I'll try to come back tomorrow to clarify everything and see what's going on and talk to the company that sent me the check. And they sent me the check back. They basically gave it to me. And, you know, I went home, I told my mother, I told my father, I told them and I let them know. And, you know, they basically said, you know, a lot of people will do this certain thing to you. You clearly didn't know what was going through your head, obviously. My dad knows a lot about this stuff. You know, he knows a lot about people trying to fraud and, you know, scam people, whether it's through online or just, you know, in store or somewhere. So basically, he said what they were trying to do to me was they were trying to basically make me deposit a check into my account, my bank account. So therefore, you know, it gets cleared, it gets deposited. And once this check, this potential fake check right here, once this check bounces, basically bouncing means when a check bounces, it doesn't go through. Well, it goes through, but then the money doesn't show up. So it bounces. It's a fake check, basically. And the bank account then sends your information to that company to see what's going on. So they send the bank account number, they send your name, your address, everything, boom, right to that company. And they get that information. That company gets that information, which is never good. You don't want anybody to get your bank account numbers. You don't want any of that. You do not. Thank God for that bank account teller that said, basically, you don't want to deposit this slip. We cannot deposit this slip for you. Because if that check would have went through, God only knows what had happened to my bank account. God only knows what would happen to my identity. So basically, that is my story, guys. Literally, this just happened to me yesterday. I was going to deposit this slip and basically ruined my whole life. Right out of college, a college student like me, right out of college, I probably would have lost everything. I probably would not be here on YouTube to tell this story. If this happened right then and there, everything would probably be gone. So I wanna say this, guys. Always be very careful of what you do online. Always be very careful and curious of what people say to you online, what you open online, what people offer you online, this and that. A lot of these things are not real. A lot of these potential things are very harmful, and they could be potential scams and fraud. And it's very crazy. I really got finessed. I really almost got finessed. I won't say I completely got finessed. I almost got finessed. So just be very careful, guys. Be very careful. It's very crazy what goes on in this world with identity and fraud and this and that. So yeah, that's my story, guys. I hope you guys learned from this. I've learned from this. Don't ever give out your personal information. Do not. Don't do it. It's very bad. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this is a learning lesson. If you enjoyed this video and want more story times, be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Comment below if you ever had any potential finessing scams that almost happened to you. And basically, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit that notification bell too. And peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.